Post-match reactions. Man City versus Arsenal. The result honestly was never in doubt, right, guys? Never ever gonna be in doubt. Man City 4, Arsenal 1. De Bruyne with 2 goals. The other 2 scored by Stones and Haaland. Russell, you called it.
Yeah, I did, and I was hoping for. I think I predicted 6-0. Honestly, it was a 6-0, 7-0 game. Like, if Ramsdale didn't make those crucial saves, I mean the game would have been different. Like, they got the first goal in the 6th minute,
Yeah.
and threatened all the way. I mean, if they scored in between that period, like the second goal came at the 46th minute, like in a injury time in the first half. So too easy for them. Like, Arsenal weren't there. Arsenal didn't turn up. They looked out of sorts. Lack of confidence, sluggish. I think at one point when they panned the camera to Saka, he looked depressed. He just want to get out of the field. Like, all the Arsenal players just looked like they just wanted out. Like, they're just counting down the seconds till the game was over. Like, they just didn't want to be on that field with Man City. And the atmosphere, surprisingly, at the Etihad yesterday was.
It wasn't the empty heart this time.
That they were giving it to the Arsenal players, man. Every time they touch the ball, boos ringing around the stadium. After 3-0, the Poznan came out. It was actually a very hostile environment for the young Arsenal team. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't cope. Arteta looked lost on the side, the touchline, looking at Pep. While Pep was down there, kneeling down on the field. I don't know what kind of pose he's doing. He's not even doing anything. He's not even saying anything. Just looking, admiring his masterpiece of what he created. That team just played to perfection yesterday, and it showed in the result.
Yeah, but I mean, it's surprising, right? Fari, I want you to jump in on this. It's surprising, though, that Arsenal looks so tired, considering they haven't had midweek football for a while, right?
Yeah, I think that's what surprised me as well. Like, they look deflated. They look like they weren't up for it. I mean, like, if they had won last night, they would have had momentum going into the last 6-7 games of the season. But they sort of like after that first goal went in, I think they just sort of like, oh no, we're on the back foot, and like they never once did they really take the momentum of the game back from Man City. I mean, granted, it's a hallmark of all Pep Guardiola teams that they control the pace of games and all that, but to see them just so dejected after 20-30 minutes of play, it's quite, I wouldn't say sad, but then
Surprising.
it's surprising. It shows their immature would be the wrong word, but then they're just lacking that maturity. And
Isn't lacking maturity immature?
but I think we've mentioned this before. How that they lack winners in their team. So people who have won titles, who knows what it takes to get to that next level, and I think it shows. Jorginho maybe is the only real serial winner in that team.
Euros winner.
Yeah.
He's won the Champions League.
With Chelsea.
He's won the Premier League under Conte.
So I think that's the thing that's missing with this Arsenal squad. I mean, their over reliance on Saliba also shows. I mean, the fact that they haven't won ever since they have been struggling since Saliba got injured shows that there is parts of this team that need building. And to look on the bright side of things, if I were an Arsenal fan, is that you managed to keep the title challenge up until this long. You knew which part of the teams were failing. So if it's all up to the board and the manager now to fill in those gaps and hopefully keep up the title challenge, because you don't want this to be a one-off. That is the worry. You don't want this to be like Spurs when they finish second, right, and they just fall apart.
But touching on that point about them knowing where to strengthen in the summer, I don't feel like this season will be a clear reflection in a sense, because they pulled out of all the cup competitions fairly early. Like, they didn't make a deep run, so they know how thin their squad is, like, on paper. Like, I mean, yes, they have a very strong 11, but they can't just bring on more players, because more competition means better level of play, but also you have to keep everyone happy. Like, this team was happy because there was a thin squad, but they're only competing in one competition, so it was able to make bring in players, take out players, rotate. But when more competition comes, and I think Arsenal fans, I think the disappointment this year, even though they say they're happy, is that they put all the eggs in one basket. What I was saying before, like they all just focus on the league, and now they're not going to get the league. So when next year, the expectation as Arsenal fans will change because okay, you're doing very well in the league, but just because you got out of the club competitions, we want you to also compete on that front. I think Arsenal fans are we want to go and compete in Champions League next year. We look like we can do it. That also takes away from the league standard because you're going to be tired midweek games, and they haven't played this year. Then this team's not used to playing midweek and playing on the weekend. So next year it will be a new challenge on whether they can understand and get up to speed.
The challenges, right? Yeah.
So
I think overall, so the majority of the team have yet to experience European football, as far as I know, outside of Europa League. I think did they compare? Yeah,
Europa League,
this year.
Yeah, Europa
And
League,
then
yeah,
would-
which they lost
Yeah.
in the round of 16 to Sporting via penalties. Yep.
So again, hopefully, it's one of the things where you hope that with more experience comes a bit better mentality and allows them to challenge for more titles. I think if I were an Arsenal fan, it's progress. That's for sure. That's one thing. They've gotten rid of a lot of the dead weight in the team. They fixed the mentality, not really mentality, but the attitude in that team.
To a degree.
There's no men for themselves kind of like guys like Obama and Lacazette who were like inflating their
Stat
bank books.
padding.
And so they need to build on this. They have good players in their team. I mean, aside from the regular 11 that we see, they have Trossard in their team, which I feel is very underutilized. Even though he has had his impact since
he should have
moving to
started
Arsenal.
though.
Yeah, I feel like he should have started. He
Seems a bargain right now, right? 26 million.
And
Seems quite a
to
bargain.
consider that they wanted to get Mudryk first, I feel like Trossard is miles better than Mudryk.
They dodged a bullet.
Yeah,
They really dodged a bullet.
definitely.
Chelsea-sized bullet. Okay, I mean we could go on about where Arsenal need to improve, but I think they'll probably come into better focus once we're at the end of the season and we can take stock of like how the teams have done. But I think we need to talk about Man City here a little bit because that was a performance and a half from them, and Erling Haaland has gotten rid of his Romelu Lukaku-esque first touch. For the first goal, that was, I mean, he plucked that ball out of the sky, and then did it bounce, or did he just juggled it and then put it straight into De Bruyne's palm? Absolutely,
Wow.
filthy football from City there, and then De Bruyne. I mean, yeah, we could fault Ramsdale a little bit for that first goal, but the him dribbling from halfway past 4 Arsenal defenders and then sticking it into the bottom right corner with such composure and class, just absolutely crazy from City. That first sequence is Route 1 football, but it's Route 1 football with a crazy amount of elegance to it as well.
Nothing away from that City goal, but the Arsenal defending, everything was. You just played into Man City's hand. Like the person stepping up, right, to go back, like to put pressure on Haaland was holding, and he went there very half-heartedly. He knew.
He got rolled,
you can see the way he's going in, right. He knew he's going to lose that battle. If you're not so confident, you have to step back, let him turn and take the ball and run. It's okay because Haaland with the ball when dribbling, he's not that good. You see when the way he plays yesterday, right, get the ball pass out, make that run. You never see him like take on. He will never do what De Bruyne did yesterday. Run. Weave in, weave out. So it's okay, but I think Holding was like caught in 2 minds. Should I like drop back or should I press? Once he pressed and he was nowhere gonna get the ball from Haaland, open that gap. And Gabriel also, I feel like their partnership, they haven't played much, so they don't really have an understanding.
Yeah.
I think he stepped up also, and then there was a big gap, and then De Bruyne just ran through.
Yeah.
Haaland essentially pulled both centre backs out of position. Like he. I think De Bruyne had a few chances, including the goal, and it's where were his centre backs? I mean, the full backs were covering on both occasions. So it's a testament to Haaland's talent, I guess. Like you need 2 centre backs to mark him out of the game, but
Talent and also like
A bit of naivety as well.
no, I think like it's just that the aura. It's scary. Like you see this guy bigger than the centre back, and I think like what Faris saying, the defense was non-existent yesterday from Arsenal. I think, and you're playing against Haaland, and I feel like they didn't at one point. They didn't respect that he can actually pass and play out. Like they thought that all he does is score goals in the box. But he's a footballer, and he's learning from Pep and the coaching staff. He's going to improve his touch, his 1-2 play, interplays with his teammates. He's going to improve. And now you see the start of season Haaland compared to this, at this current moment Haaland, he already made an improvement. And this is like, in a short span. Imagine the longer time he has with this team, he's going to get better. Learning from De Bruyne, what to do. Very simple, like Haaland just did very simple things, but effective. He didn't overcomplicate. And I think that just shows how good this City team is.
33 goals,
Oh, it's broken
31
record,
games. It is the highest total, I think, in modern Premier League history. In Premier League history, never mind modern Premier League
Broke
history.
the 32 goal
Mark.
set by
Salah.
Shearer and
Salah.
Andy Cole.
Salah also did 32, didn't he?
And then means he got one more record to break, right?
Okay, so in a
Yeah.
38 match Premier League,
Salah.
Salah had the record, and now Haaland has broken it. The 94-95 season, which
Okay.
saw 22 teams in the Premier League,
Oh, okay.
Shearer had 35 goals.
35.
Yeah,
So
so-
Andy Cole has 34, right? Something like
No, and Nicole is 32, I think. Haaland now has the outright most goals for 38 game season.
Wow. And how many games has he played? I know Man City has played 31.
31.
But
He
Haaland,
was
I think,
out
has
with
played.
injury.
He was out with
25,
injury for I
yeah.
think
I think
three games, 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
I think he missed a few games, right? This wow, man. Imagine just that. And the games that he missed, people forget, right? One against big opposition.
Yeah.
There could be another 6 goals.
Yeah.
Like 3 games, he missed 2. So, I think he's on course to get 40.
Yeah, I
won't
don't
put it past
disagree.
him,
I would not put it past him, but like, yeah. So, okay, Mo Salah has the previous record for 32. Yeah, which was in the 2017 and 2018 season. Yeah. Yeah, I think we could wax lyrical a bit about City, but I guess the question here, guys, is does this, honestly, we talked about it in Between the Posts, we're going to ask it again after last night's performance. Are they in pole position for at least the domestic double and then the treble? Is it hard? It's very hard to see past them, isn't it?
Yeah.
For both.
It's hard. I mean, I think it just looks easy to them. I think that's the scary thing about this Man City team. Like, they are defending deep. I think that's the other thing that I realized this season, that they are able to defend deep and transition into the counter attack very well, which is very rare for a Pep team. I think that it's a bit of an evolution in a sense for the team, because when Pep first took over this team, I think they could hold possession but they could not break. And they fell to teams who had
Meaningless passing.
but they also lost to teams who had fast breaks on them.
Yep.
That's why Man U always had their number.
It's also how Southampton beat them in the League Cup, I believe. Yeah, pressing them up high and then like breaking on them real quick. So yeah.
And now that they are able to sit back and they have an outlet in Haaland, and it shows that this team knows what it takes to win games.
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest hallmark. Like that was when Sir Alex Ferguson was dominating the Premier League. That was the hallmark of all his teams. Like, there was no particular formation or lineup that always worked,
Yeah.
but they just knew how to win.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
The winning culture.
and this Man City team is showing that same grit as well. I still don't think that they will get past Real Madrid, mainly because it's their toughest matchup this whole season.
I know.
But
yeah.
for domestically, I think the league and the cup.
I think the Real Madrid game, I've been more confident it was a one-off game in the final. Just because it's a two-legged affair, and then if Real Madrid come into Etihad, I don't know which one's first, who's playing home or away.
I think they're the Bernabeu first.
I think that's the perfect scenario for Man City. Like, they go there, if they get a draw, I'll be very afraid, because at the Etihad they are absolutely disgusting. They're damn good at the Etihad.
First game is at the Bernabeu on Wednesday, the 10th of May, and the second game is on the 18th. So
And
bracket.
going that
brackets.
point that Farid said, like, the outlet on Haaland. Yesterday, a few times Arsenal were pinning Man City back with their passing, because Arsenal has good fluid passing. They got the ball, I think Ruben Diaz or Stones, they lofted it to the left side, like left, all the way down the field to the left side. Haaland chase, Rob Holding kicked the ball out for a throw in. And now the ball's back to Man City.
Yeah, they had a gain. They had a gain of like 80 yards in just one movement. Yeah.
Look at how easy. Like, and he didn't even do anything. They just chased the defender to make him a bit feel pressure. He kicked the ball, and now it's your ball. You're in the attacking third.
Yeah.
Let's start from there. Easy. If Pep wanted to, he like to recycle play.
Yeah.
Now he got the best out. Like the team giving you the ball back because one guy's just running. But did you see the one where he took out his hand?
Oh yeah, when he scored his goal. When he scored his
No,
goal.
before that, no. That guy is a shit house. No? So I watched the game. Thing was 90th minute. He took out his hairband, started playing with his hair, moving around. Then all the Arsenal players, all the Arsenal fans, like us, AFTV, I saw the reaction. They were so angry. No, what this guy is like, he's doing his hair. I hope he don't score. 1 minute later, he scores.
a word, by the way, about that goal. Phil Foden picking it out from the sky, absolutely magical. Just plucking that out from the sky and then laying it on. I think he saw Haaland's touch for De Bruyne's goal earlier and he's like, nah, I can do better than that. And he did.
Haaland, Foden bench player. Look at the place the ball there. Foden and Mahrez coming on. What the heck? Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Let's go quickly through last night's other results and just tell me if any of these stick out to you and whether you want to say something about them, okay? So Wolves 2, Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 1, Fulham 0, Leeds 1, Leicester City 1. Bad for Leicester, to be honest. That was a relegation 6-pointer if I've ever seen one. Forest 3, Brighton 1. Great.
Result, no?
Yeah.
That is, wow, what a performance.
Great news for Forest.
Yep.
Great news for Liverpool, actually, because Liverpool 2, West Ham 1. Really bad result for West Ham. Yeah.
There was last minute shot for a penalty. It looked like a penalty. This is the problem with handball rule is getting out of hand. Like it might be given on another day, but I don't understand what's going on. But
Liverpool. Anyways, Liverpool. Anyway. And last but not least, Brentford 2, Chelsea 0. Expected, huh?
Hey, Chelsea scored, finally.
no.
They scored an own goal.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Must
feeling
be-
better, yeah.
He had enough, right? He had enough not scoring like this. I need to score. Oh shit. That team, okay, like they just don't want to play football.
I think they're
want
done
out.
for the
Yeah,
season. Chelsea are done
Yeah.
for the season.
We might see, right?
Anymore. Yeah.
A sacking of a interim manager.
Second.
Second. It's gonna happen. So I don't know how if Todd Bowley stays with Lampard at the end of the season, that guy doesn't give two fucks. You know? Like how can you be like as an owner? Okay, I don't mind. Like let's lose every week, lose and not score. Like losing is one thing, but you buy this crazy attacking array of talent, but zero.
Zero
Man.
outputs. And you know, that's the funny thing is like, okay, we got rid of Tuchel. They got rid of Tuchel, and then they got rid of Potter because he wasn't performing. Let's bring back the least successful Chelsea manager of the last 4 years. Right, back as a caretaker. And then, cheerleader. I think that's the term that you gave him.
Yeah. Not manager. He doesn't deserve. And I feel bad for Frank because this is affecting his status as a legend of the club. He's a brilliant footballer. Every Chelsea fan loves him.
Yeah.
But now, because of this, he's going to turn the narrative on him as well.
Maybe a
Like
little
the-
bit of like what happened with Ole at United as well.
Different because
Yeah.
Ole was more of our super sub kind of like he wasn't like Rooney.
Nah,
level.
he was well loved.
Yeah,
man.
well
Well
loved
loved, yeah.
because
Still
of-
a club
yeah, but-
legend. Yeah.
I was like I mean legend.
Maybe
but-
because you're too young to remember '99.
I mean I was 2 years old only.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But 99, I mean that team. But you know, like, looking at it, like that Chelsea team, like Lampard. I mean, I grew up watching Lampard, so like you see, like wow,
Yeah.
we love Lampard. Even though you're, I'm a United supporter. I have no hatred towards Lampard. He's so good. And now like
Lampard over Gerrard anytime.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I mean I have just a disdain towards Gerrard because of his attitude and stuff. I just don't like him.
I think with Chelsea, whether Lampard stays or not, that isn't really the big issue. Is how soon can they lock down a new manager? I
Yeah.
think that is because as it is now, there's so much up in the air. There's so many question marks, and that's not good for players. That's not good for fans.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it kind of like take a leaf out of Man United's book last season, like with the shit show that was Rangnick's reign.
Yeah.
But once Ten Hag was done at Ajax, they won the title, and he was like, okay, they announced his signing.
It's actually almost 3 days ago. Yes, 3 days ago, a year ago was the anniversary of Ten Hag's announcement as Manchester United manager.
The Chelsea situation is wild because if they are going for Pochettino, he was available. He's not tied to any club.
Yeah.
He's out of work right now.
Yeah,
Why
so-
not announce him?
No, like
Yeah.
but even before they went to Lampard, if they knew who they kind of wanted, just wait it out for a while. I mean, they could have been someone who stepped in instead of Lampard for that time being, and then announced Poch.
Yeah.
Because he's not like, oh, let's wait for Poch to finish the season with this team and then we bring him. He's there.
Maybe Poch just has a punditry contract that he needs to see out, you know? I mean, no, because Chelsea have no more money, what? FFP, they're screwed. So, yeah, can't even pay out.
They're not really tied to any FFP because of the 8 years. So, like, being a player, imagine I signed for Chelsea, I got an 8-year contract. And this, you looking at the state of the club now, I'll be crying, you know, because I'm stuck here for 8 years. Wow.
Okay.
I think there are rumors saying that a lot of the players are talking to the agents to find a way out.
Yeah, relook at the contract. Yeah, is this gonna happen? And
Yeah, it's going to be a fire sale in the summer.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright guys, we're going to wrap it up. For those of you that are watching at home, just so that you guys know, Southampton, Bournemouth, Everton, Newcastle, and Manchester United and Spurs are happening tonight. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. We're not going to do a reaction tomorrow though for this one though. Nah, it's okay. It's alright. Yeah, we'll see you guys again on Monday. That's it from us. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.